Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. I have my colleague here in the house. I'm going to be talking about the latest as it has to do with Asare Dokubo. Don't forget that he has been in the news for a long while now, and it's always to the contrary. Nigerians are not happy about the fact that he has identified with Bola Tinubu, and he had promised to give Bola Tinubu all the required support. And the latest is that he has more than 300 persons, some people call them militants, who he had trained. And according to him, he said these people uh, are meant to work for Bola Tinubu. And he has sent out a warning to anyone who misbehave or seek Tinubu's downfall that such a fellow will be smashed. And this is one thing that the Nigerians are not happy about. Let me just read some of the words he had said. He said, whatever the enemies are planning, they will fail. I am not a ghost. I just came from Saudi Arabia. I just returned from Saudi Arabia. We are here. We work for for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and he will succeed. Anybody who is planning for him to fail, that person already failed. We are not competing with anybody. We have never competed with anybody. It is turn by turn. It is Jagabam's turn. So wait for your turn. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow. Don't forget that in the month of June, 2 weeks after Tinubu was sworn in as president, uh, Dokubo had visited him at the presidential villa, saying Tinubu has been a father figure to him for more than 30 years. And he also pointed accusing fingers at the army and the navy, and he made Nigerians to understand that they were the ones intimidating the civil defense, who by status they are the people who are supposed to guard the pipelines. So many revelations came from him after he met with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But right now, with this crowd of young men numbering up to 300, do you think this is an ideal move for Nigeria, or do you think this is taking laws into his hands?
Well, most it's obvious from all indication that something is emboldening Asari Dokubo. If you ask me, if I was to be in the seat where Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sitting right now, I will call him to order. He's not doing me a favor. He's actually tarnishing my image.
Mm,
Because the truth be told, I have a lot of case to answer right now when it comes to the issue of PEPC, that's Presidential Election Petition Court, where a lot of things are being dug out my many part, of course, from what Wole Onanupeku, the senior advocate of Nigeria, the lawyer representing Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, he said yes, some of these things, although it was a civil forfeiture of the 460,000 US dollars, but it was civil and it's about 10 years, and
mhm.
this case here is coming about 30 years, looking at made some quoted some sections in the constitution where that should actually override it. Now, with all these issues, boiling down, coming everywhere, and Asari Dokubo coming with a private army, it doesn't speak well of me. Nigerians are already not too comfortable with what they're saying, and now Asari Dokubo is having access. If I was to be him, I'm not him. I would tell Asari, you're not doing me good. You're worsening. You're making Nigerians more agitated. He
Mhm.
would rather. I would rather tell him, calm down, don't go public. Whatever you want to do, you can do it quietly. By
Mhm.
making it public, you're making Nigerians uncomfortable
Yeah.
in my stay. So you're
Mhm.
not helping me. It's as if you're working against me. So whatever it is, this matter, if you want to help me, call me privately, do whatever you want to do. I will tell you what to do. But doing that, all the opposition can actually literally, use that against him. Say, look at, he has entered. Like Sefasari Dokubo, who was one time
Militant.
militant,
Head of militant.
now is now is now the one, saying all sorts.
Okay.
Like most Nigerians said in some of the comment section, this says something that Asari Dokubo children are not even in Nigeria, and they are somewhere else having very smooth education. So he may look as if from Nigerians are keeping count, like what Amadi said, one of the lawyers, foremost lawyers, said. He said that he's keeping records of many persons who have been visiting Bola Ahmed Tinubu ever since he became president. That some of them didn't even find their way to Aso Rock when Buhari was on set. So
Mm.
it speaks volume.
Yeah.
I don't know how this will play out, but Nigerians are watching DSS as well to
Mhm.
see them display, because it is against our law, the law of the land, for you to have a security against a private security against the one that's already subsisting and existing that is not registered. And if it's registered, what are they fighting? And he boldly calls them. If you had listened to the video, he boldly called them the private army ready to fight for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How? What happened to our military? What happened to our
Yeah.
navy? What happened to our civil defense? What happened to our police? We have them enough. So who
Yeah.
gave him the power to, employ, create a security agency on whose mandate? But he's so bold to say it's on the mandate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is the president of the country. So it
Wow.
speaks a lot.
All right. Now, before now, there's something he said when he granted interview some time ago, and he said that he was the one that was paid to protect, I think, Abuja Kaduna Road. There was a time that banditry was very heavy, and he was the one that was paid to take care of it, and he did a good job there, according to him. So I think all of this has emboldened, and I feel at this point that our military need to do their job as they are doing. Lakbaja is one man. At least I've seen him perform some things a day ago, where after talking to his guys, the military, he did press up, talking about the chief of army staff. He did press up and was talking during a period of, I was like, man, this guy is ready. And Nasser El-Rufai even came out to say, with this guy on board, that we should be so sure that terrorism will be a thing of the past, that anybody who knows him knows that he's a strong guy. Now, with him being on sea, don't you think that this kind of people, that's like the chief of army staff and other service chiefs, should meet Bola Ahmed Tinubu to put this guy under control so that their own personality will not be underestimated? Apart from being underestimated, it won't get to a point whereby there will be a clash between the recognized military and these other those.
There's one thing I know about when it comes to leadership is the fact that
Triple down again.
yes, one, two. One of the things I also noticed that some of this military, all of this military, I know they're well trained. Telling the president, Mr. President, please, can you put it as if they are giving him orders?
Okay.
They would rather take to the last order. That's the beauty of being the chief. When they say commander in chief, that's why Nigerians should be very deliberate about who bears that name. Because there's little or nothing the military can do if such people are in the corridor of power. There's nothing they can do. Their own is to protect the territory of the country, both internal and external. And it's coming from the commander in chief. If the commander in chief said, whatever you do, everything but the citizen, don't go there, they will not go there. Sorry. They only obey orders. So that's why you see people, even the Holy Book would say, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. So Nigerians should be very deliberate about who bears that name. Because if he gives the right command, everything work out well. A good change of leadership, you begin to the same military now. Nigerians are wondering, are you sure our military can? They have won back-to-back awards.
Exactly.
It now looked as if bandits, and who are the bandits? These guys know how to take them off if they want. They know where, like this other guy during the time of Buhari. He said that the military know where the bandits were. Gume. He said the military know where the bandits are. They know the military location. Why? Because the leadership then was not really making the military to move. With the right leadership, the military know what to do. But it is the leadership that will tell military what to do. They know exactly how to do their job. So if you ask me, it's not in the duty of any security chief to do anything. To do, it's just the law, whatever order the president gives, they obey.
All right, thank you so much. Just this one from my end. I feel that Asari Kubo should calm down. We know that Nigeria has turned out to be a place where it is like it's turn by turn now, as he had said. But then, looking at how delicate the Nigerian democracy is right now, it's wrong for you to bring up things that will shake the foundation of our democracy. So at this point, calming down and not always bringing everything to, the social media would be the best advice. Let's try to see how we can preserve law and order in the country. That's what we would like to live in. Let's meet in our conversation and interact. What's the